Okay, hi, it's Margaret Motherall. I'm supposed to be doing a live stream, and I have not a clue how to do a live stream. So, this is a photo booth film, and I'm just going to wing it. If I see your name come up on my phone asking a question or whatever, I'll answer it. I'm even starting a little early here because this is just not. I've been struggling with tech for like 3 years and not getting anywhere and just doing it, trying to figure it out by myself. And I can't do it. So that's the way it is. I need help. Okay. I need help with a lot of things. Okay, so we're gonna, the topic was the eclipse and your wishing star. Okay, like where does your wishing star that's heading up the eclipse taking you? And I guess I'll use some cards and maybe like go through the zodiac signs for that. I also want to have a YouTube channel that has live chat, but I started to set it up, but then I realized I needed 100 likes before I can actually do a live chat. And that would be the best way for me to do these things. My Facebook or my YouTube channel and the website I'm working on and so forth, part of it is called Wild Mother Medicine Mystery School. Okay. So mystery school is like, it's a mystery how you get into it, and it's a mystery how you get out of it. Okay. So it's a lot like technology. All right. I don't have a clue. But anyway, hold on. I'm going to grab some cards and start there because that's what everybody does, and it's kind of easy out for me right now at this point. Hold on. Okay, these are a whole bunch of decks, and they're not full decks. Okay, I'm not playing with a full deck, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so first of all, let me tune in and see if anything comes up. Oh, I want to give a thank you to a couple of astrologers that I've been watching a lot, and especially right now, like the Leo King, he did a video today, he was apologizing. It didn't really sound like he had anything to apologize for, but he brought up an issue which is really big in our world right now with Saturn in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is a whole bunch of opinions. It's like we're all mucking around having opinions about things, and we all think that we have the truth. And there's a lot of manipulation of truth. And it's all kind of a big experiment to see what we really truly believe in. So even though there's a lot of like yelling and screaming and insulting each other, it's just an experiment about what your opinion is, okay? And it's very, very important for people to go into their hearts, into their true self, and get their true opinions and beliefs about things, as opposed to just, what is your local crowd doing? What is your political party doing? What is your church believing in? Like, what does your family believe in? Okay, it's like Saturn is like working us to like really question what we believe in our heart. Okay, and this eclipse, which was led with Leo at the head of the pack, and Leo rules the heart, that is the universe like giving us this big wave to ride, like we're surfing, okay, on this big wave, and that wave is called love. Okay, it's not anything else. It's not an opinion. It's not a political party. It's not a religious sect or anything, or another country or another race or anything. The wave is called love, and that's for everyone. And that's the way that the universe like just decided, well, this group of like people, human being, weird people, okay, they need, more than anything, they need love. Okay, and so an opinion isn't really love. Okay, and one of the keys to right now is when you hear opinions that are different than yours. And first of all, it's legal to change your opinion. Okay, it's perfectly fine because it's an exploration. Okay, it's legal to change your belief systems. Okay, but with love, it's like when you hear somebody who, especially when you hear somebody who has a different opinion or a different belief system than you, it's not about arguing. Okay, it's not about rioting. It's about just like, yeah, wow, I'm hearing what you're saying and I love you. Okay, that's what's going to evolutionize our world. Okay, and apparently, if you get to watch the Leo King, I think his video, he made it today, he got into some kind of like little tiff, or somebody got in a tiff with him about an opinion or a belief. And it turned a little nasty on somebody's part. And the Leo King, like I've been watching him for a while, and he's a Leo, so just like some people that we call, well, Trump's not a Leo. He's got a lot of Leo in him. But, Leo's going to like be up there and shine out and be loud and everything. And Leo King is like that. And you may have an opinion about that. I mean, especially if you're like a Virgo with Cancer rising or something. You might have an opinion about that. Or maybe you're in competition with him because you're a Scorpio. Okay. But it's okay to be a loudmouth Leo that like really stands up and says what you're thinking. Okay. And if you listen to his message, it's all from the heart. So I want to thank the Leo King for that message today, because it really applies to all of us. It's been very painful for me. I'm starting to get over it and accept the reality of things. But it's been very painful for me, not so much who's president, but seeing people turn on each other. I mean, I'm like in the spiritual healer astrology community, and you've got that community like going against each other. Okay, my phone like clicked, so I'm going to see if it says anything. It's not applicable at the moment. Okay. So, this eclipse is about bringing in love. Okay. And the opposite sign of, Leo, the tail end of the tail of the eclipse is Aquarius. And Aquarius can be very stubborn about like their truth and their belief systems. And it's the riots, it's the group mind, it's the group opinions, it's religions, like the religious states. Like we have different states that are religious states. America's not a Christian country. Okay, America's a country of religious freedom. All right. So remember that. Anyway, so it's about love, and it's about like knowing that everybody's experimenting with their beliefs. Because what's happening with the world is that there's this huge light coming in and showing up all the like shadow beliefs and corruptions and hidden things and lies and deceptions that we've been living with for like centuries and centuries and centuries. So all that stuff is like there's a light being shown on it. And it's not one president man's fault or one political party's fault that all this stuff, all the garbage is coming to the surface so that we can have an opinion about it. Okay? It's, everything that's coming up is we're all responsible for it. Everybody's responsible for their own racism. Everybody's responsible for their own hatred or their own love. Okay? And the universe is like giving us this. An eclipse is like a wave, like it came through the portal at the moment and days of the beginning of the eclipse, and then it keeps going for 6 months to a year. I think it's going to have about a year and a half kind of flow to it, like it'll kaleidoscope in different ways. But this wave of love, the universe is like begging you all to love. And when somebody's standing before you with a different opinion, like get into your like heart and get into your observer neutral place and just like listen. Okay? When you do that, you can have the most rabid hate monger ever, and if you're like really grounded and aligned with your love and in neutrality and not judging, that person's gonna calm down because they're gonna be able to say what they need to say, and it's gonna be like you're listening in a non-judgmental way. Energy is very powerful, and that's what we need to be using rather than all these words. Okay, so I've had a lot of healing teachers, okay, and one of my teachers for like many, many years, like off and on, has been Rosalind Breer. And I first started seeing her to get healings for myself. She was in Glendale at the time, and I don't even think I had kids yet. So that was a really long time ago. But then I took the first big workshop I took with her was in Northern California at a retreat center called Isis Oasis. It's like really cool. I used to take my two girls up there for vacations, and we would rent a yurt, and there were all these like Egyptian temple things and peacocks and ocelots like walking around the grounds, and they had a big room for classrooms, and it had this Egyptian thing about it. So I took like a 5-day intensive with Rosalind Briere, and it was the first time that I had ever experienced her teaching. And one of the first things that she said was that she taught in the Socratic method, which meant she just got up there and started talking. And that's pretty much what I do. Okay. I thought, oh, that's good, because then I don't have to have a script, okay, and I don't have to make notes ahead of time. And she's even said, like, her staff will say, okay, you have a workshop, like, 3 times a year in this location, one in that location. Like, just give us a title, because she doesn't know what she's going to teach, okay? She doesn't know what she's going to say until she gets there. But of course, the staff has to get a title for it, so people will think like, "Oh, we're gonna do this or whatever." Okay, so the last class I took, I had just gotten back to California. She actually lives fairly close to where I am now, and it was on mediumship. Okay, and that was awesome. But that Socratic method, just get up and start blabbing. That's the mystery. One of the mysteries. Okay. I have my hands on this card right now, so I'm gonna take it out and look at it. Oh, interesting. That owl. Okay. Oh, this is the Sacred Rebel deck. I highly recommend the Sacred Rebel deck to everyone. Okay, let me see what it says. Be the hunter, not the hunted. So the owl is of course Athena, the wise owl, and Athena is like the warrior queen of Athens. Okay, of course, an owl can see at night and see all around itself the way it moves its head. And so, be the hunter, not the hunter. And what this brings to mind to me in the story of astrology, I was thinking about this last night, is that a lot of times people get really scared of like the big planets, like Pluto. Right now they're scared of Leo for some reason. Okay. They get scared of Mars. They get scared of Saturn. They get scared of Uranus. Okay. And I learned something really empowering and important. I haven't always been able to kind of pull it off, okay, because I don't think you're really supposed to pull everything off. You're supposed to have your journeys to hell and back again, okay? Those are really important and very valuable. And I really would like to ask everybody right now, like, to just take a moment and with the wisdom of the owl, like, look inside of yourself and like all the stories that have been really hurting you. Okay, all the stories that you feel like you're trapped in, that are like a jail for you, that you can't get out of, like all those stories, okay? Those are some of your most important stories, and the wisdom of the owl is going to show you that. That's where your wisdom comes from, is those deep, dark stories. And right now we're in a place in history where the deep, dark stories of our history is just surfacing and surfacing and surfacing. And it's surfacing like a disease surfaces. Like if you take a homeopathic remedy, like old diseases like from childhood or past lives or whatever will start to come up. Like you might break out into a rash or something, or spike a fever. A fever brings up like a disease pattern. Okay, so right now there's a lot of disease patterns from our long history that are coming up and surfacing. And we're seeing it played out, and we're opening our eyes to it, like eyes wide open. That's not the Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman movie that was so disturbing to me. That was Eyes Wide Shut, I think. Okay. So I'm talking about eyes wide open like an owl. Okay. And be wise about it. Like, have perspective. Like, okay, so I'm going to open up everybody, align people, and open up your sight and your hearing, your heart senses, your gut senses, the senses of the palms of your hands, so that you can sense truth. Okay? Always ask for truth. Okay? Like, during part of my journey, every night I would take a piece of paper, I'd draw a circle on it, and I had a issue or something that I was dealing with, or something I wanted to know. And inside the circle, I would say, please tell me the truth about this, or please tell me the truth about this person or this situation. And within 24 hours, I would get a piece of truth. It wasn't always easy truth, okay? But I would get it, okay? And the truth is, okay, that, and Athena's into truth. I mean, she's like the law and truth and wisdom. Truth is not always pretty, and people have a lot of problems with truth. Okay, they're like, it freaks them out. That's why they persecute whistleblowers and stuff like that. It just freaks them out. Okay, but the truth, the way our history is right now, is that the truth is coming up to like just kind of slap us in the face. Okay, so once again, like, go to your heart, align yourself, get grounded, go into neutral when you're observing the world, and realize that the world is actually adjusting itself to bring us into a new truth and a higher truth, and to slough off, get rid of the lies and the deceptions, okay? The deceptions that, life has to be brutal, that life has to be at war, that we have to hate somebody, okay? It's almost like become a requirement. Let me check my phone again. Become a requirement that we hate somebody and that we argue with somebody, okay? It's not a requirement. It's just a game that we play, and that we believe it. It's like a belief system. Oh, I have to have an enemy. I have to have an enemy. I remember when, just before shock and awe, they were like talking about like going into Iraq, okay? That war was totally based on lies, okay? But you watch the people on TV and the commentators and stuff, and you get hypnotized and you believe something about it, and it may be totally not anything to do with the truth. But this time in history, like, we are going to get the truth. Okay, we may just be upset about it now because we can kind of feel like we're not getting it, okay? And we may be blaming other people for it and stuff like that. But what we're doing is we're learning how to discern the truth and see the truth for ourselves. Okay, and the greatest truth of all is love. Okay, and staying in neutrality when somebody's upsetting you is a valuable gift. So I went off there. Now, I did have one person that was And that's not all of it. I mean, I could talk about truth. I could talk about the scales of justice. I could talk about this forever, but I won't. Because I'll leave you some mystery. Maybe that's for a different time. So anyway, last night somebody asked for a reading. I can't even remember his name. But I'm going to tune into him anyway. And then a woman asked today, within the last hour or so. Let me see if I can find any names. Probably not. Anyway, for the male that asked last night, I'm going to tune into you, into your wishing star, into the energy that's leading you. It's like your shepherd. Which shepherd is leading you? The shepherd of gentleness. Okay. The shepherd of gentleness is leading you. This is for the male person that asked for a reading last night. The shepherd of gentleness is leading you. And you don't have to associate this with any mystical figures or anything. Gentleness is the shepherd. Become like the shepherd. Become gentle like the shepherd. And I see your hands, okay, and your hands the chakras are opening up, okay. And whenever, the first thing I got, okay, this is a development of a healer, okay. Usually healers start to develop when they need healing, okay. That's what they do. They have issues and they start to heal it, and when they move through different cycles of healing, then they're able to heal and assist others. Okay, so I'm seeing that your hand chakra is really opening up. This one, the right one is emerald green, like the heart color, and the left one is yellow, like the citrine or yellow topaz in my ring here. Okay, so we have green and yellow, which is like the solar plexus, and the heart, if you take traditional colors of the chakras, which in actuality, that's not a hard and true system, okay, because like I might need some purple in my first chakra, okay, I might need some red in my third eye, okay, to energize it, okay. But right now, this is what I'm getting is the right hand is the emerald green, which is the heart love chakra traditionally. And the right is also like how you go forward. And, you know, you follow the shepherd, okay? So follow the heart, follow the heart, follow the heart. And you can like hold your heart and listen. And the heart says, go take a nap, okay? Or the heart says, go paint a picture. Or the heart says, that's a really shitty job. I don't like it. I want a different job. Okay, so let me tune into this guy. I'm getting like letting go, not to be afraid of letting go, and you're not letting go of anything that cannot be replaced with something better. There's lessons in growing your heart to be more in a state of love and a lover, okay, in all the dimensions and meanings of that. Lover of life, lover of mate, lover of whatever it is that you love. Okay, lover of water, lover surfing. Okay, love, love, love. Okay, so it's like your masculine is leading with the heart and following the heart, taking steps to the heart. And your feet chakras, and everybody's feet chakras are opening up right now so that your feet lead you in the direction of your truth, the truth of your heart. And then the yellow is traditionally the solar plexus. It has a lot to do with your intuition, your gut instinct. It also has to do with your personal empowerment. It also has to do with a lot with thinking. And that's what I'm kind of clearing out right now is the thinking. Like energetically, like thinking from the head is the weakest energy field that we have. Like the heart is the strongest energy field that we have, and the thinking mechanism, which I'm going to kind of be insulting right now, but the thinking mechanism, like, like lawyers or like, you go to school for like to get a PhD or something, and it's kind of like you're mind controlled, okay? Because you're in this like really intense program for a really long time, and they teach you all these things, and you come out like believing them, okay? And they're not necessarily worthy of belief, all right? So anyway, I really actually I'm going to shine this yellow topaz because I really want to, clear, and then I have the shell of Aphrodite here and a diamond, my mother's diamond. Okay, so this is to clear the mind of all the riffraff. Okay, just look into that yellow stone and the light. Let's get some light. Ooh. Just look into that. And then see if you can, these shells, Aphrodite, love. The diamond ring is like love from my father to my mother. And the purity of the diamond light. So let this be a healing. This gentleman brought us this healing, okay? Let this healing heal our minds. So that we can like not deal with that, okay? We don't want to deal with our brains, okay? Our brains has got us in all this trouble, okay? So let me pull a card for this gentleman. And you can take all of this for yourself too. Oh. Let me look at it with my glasses. It looks sweet in the blur. Okay. Give us your cares. Okay. Oh, this is a healing card. The emerald green of Archangel Raphael in the heart. And it's a guide. And to older people, give us all of your cares. Okay. Now, unfortunately, dear God and Archangel Raphael, I am willing to release any fears to you. Please allow me to completely let go so that you can fully guide me in this situation. So I think before for this gentleman, I did get like a let go. Like it seemed like the ending of things. And I know there's a lot of endings of things right now for people. um, it's okay. You know, it's just bringing in something new. Um, like if, you know, I always say, well, you know, if somebody I know is dying, you know, I go, well, you're going to get a ticket for the next ride. Okay. Get a first class ticket. All right. So use your heart to get a first class ticket for the next ride. You know, may not know what the next ride is yet. And I'm kind of getting like, it's going to take about 3 months for people to kind of get it, what the next ride is in their life. But that's okay. Three months not knowing. Can you handle it? It's really hard for people not to know. When in my healing practice, I get like the most panicked, you know, like it's the end of the world calls during the dark of the moon, because we're in a phase where we don't see, you know, we're not seeing what's happening. And energetically, you know, I just help snap the people out of their little trauma about it and talk about what's going on. And then, you know, I always know, like, well, give it a few days after the new moon, because at the actual new moon, which was the eclipse, I believe, yeah, or is the full, I don't know. There's no, there at the new moon, even though it's new, there's no moon in the sky. It's still in the dark. So you have to wait a few days, okay, for things to start to pop. Okay, and I'm kind of getting a 3-month season here from now. Like the eclipse just hit us, and you know, we're going to be going down some roads, and the guides are saying there's no plan. Okay, you're not going to be clued in to the plan. All right. Like when your intuition comes up to say, oh, I got to do this or I got to do that, definitely follow it. Okay, it's not like a time just to stop. Okay, it's actually a time of a lot of work, especially in Virgo season, and changes. But it's kind of like if you're at the ocean and the waves are coming in and you're just standing there and you're watching to see what the waves bring in. Okay, you're not like trying to go out into the waves and scuba dive and pick up shells and everything. You're just standing on the shore and seeing what the wave will bring in. So right now is a time for that. And if you're worried about anything, just turn it over, okay? We're kind of in a really spiritual, sacred space right now where, you know, unless you really have a sharp guidance about it, you know, just keep turn it over, and the gods or God or their higher self will give you that intuition to go forward and take action on that, on your intuition when it comes. So if something's ending, buy a new train ticket and go first class. Okay, Leo the lion loves first class. Okay. And part of this eclipse, Leo the lion being the leader, is like for us to all claim our own sovereignty. All right, it's not really to follow the pack or be like the same slogan as your political party. It's really to, that's why we're exploring all these opinions, to find out what each of us individually is about and what we stand for. Okay, our sovereignty. And Leo's very creative, so what are we going to create? And it doesn't have to follow the crowd. It's not about following the crowd. Okay, let me see if anybody else asked for anything, because I was getting the woman that contacted me. Sorry, I don't remember your names. Contacted me a couple hours ago. Okay. Well, oh, Ruth. Okay. I think it was Ruth. So, Ruth, I'm getting to be the handmaiden to yourself, okay? Not to anybody else, okay? Like, serve yourself, okay? Like, you are the sovereign queen of your life, and you serve that in yourself, okay? You pick a card for yourself. Okay, we got another healing card, and it is Inner Authority. Well, that works. That matches. Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for supporting me as I take back my power and listen to my intuition, desires, and feelings. Okay? So that's what I just said. Your sovereignty. Serve your own inner authority and your sovereignty. I went through a period of time, okay, where I'm a woman, okay, and I have had relationships with men, okay, and like the old paradigm is that often, especially my generation, I don't know, the men want to be your authority. I even had this one guy tell me that he was my higher self, because I told him I wanted to go to healing school. And he said, well, who like told you could do that? And I said, well, my higher self did. And he said, well, I'm your higher self. And then I knew he was crazy. But anyway, I went through a long period of time where I realized, because I was brought up like in a really traditional male-female household. You know, I was taught to go to college to get a good husband. Okay, that's my generation. Okay. I mean, it got kind of blown out of the water when I came of age, like during Vietnam and, women starting to speak up and all that. But, my early years were definitely, the old-fashioned days. Okay. And so when I got married, I had one marriage so far. I would try to be a really good wife. And, like if my husband bossed me around or whatever, or gave me advice, like I would try to follow it. Okay, because I wanted to be a good wife. And I thought if I did that, it would make the marriage better, because it wasn't really a good marriage. Okay. But then I realized that nothing he said ever worked out for me. Like, none of his advice worked out for me. It was like I always had detrimental effect. And he didn't really see me or care about me anyway. So I had this rule for like decades probably, that if a man ever told me or gave me any advice, that he was just wrong. Okay. So, like that was a phase that I went through. And, I did start to turn to my own authority. And this card kind of like reminds me of that phase. And it may be a good advice. Like if somebody gives you some advice, like to think secondly, think twice, thricely, think 4 times, think 10 times, think 11 times before you take that advice. Like, go to your own inner authority and trust it, okay? Trust it. Like, if it says, like, oh, I got to get out of here and go move to Arizona and take this class, okay, in like art therapy or something, or, I just got to get out of this house, or I have to do this, or I have to do that, change jobs, whatever it is. That's your inner authority, okay? And if it doesn't make any sense to anybody else, like that's like even better, okay? All right. And this card relates to the eclipse in the sense that it's asking everyone to be their own sovereign self and listen to their own authority. Okay, if you're with like a gang of people like protesting whatever and in like a group mind thing, you are probably not really listening closely to your own inner authority. Okay, there's too much clamor, there's too many protest signs. I can hear a lot of people protesting what I'm saying here. They're going to have their protest signs up. Margaret, down with Margaret for telling us not to listen to be a group mind and to listen to our own authority, which is totally wacko when I listen to my own authority, and it's not going to work, okay, because nobody else believes it except for me. Okay, like, get off that bandwagon. And the universe is not really interested to know what club you belong to. The universe is interested in you listening to your own soul and your own sovereignty and your own authority. Okay, we've come through hundreds of years of like giving our power over to presidents and dictators and religions and nations and races and all this like group mind stuff. Okay, everybody has their own soul, their own authority, their own truth. And once you start listening to that and you start taking steps to align with that and start taking steps to create your life from that, that is what's going to change the world. That's the most important ingredient that this eclipse and this stage of history is asking us to do. Okay, listen to your own authority. There's no outer authority. From the mayor, the policeman, the group mind of your little political club, to the president, to the foreigner that's like mocked up as evil. Okay, like, that's all bullshit. Okay, that's all bullshit. The truth is inside of you, and the truth is that the universe is really calling you to listen to and follow your own authority. And, it's going to feel like going out on a limb, all right? Like, people get really upset when you start doing your own thing. They do. A lot of people are really upset about me, okay? But it's okay. You come out the other side and then it's like you're like really you and you're like awesome, okay? So I hope the woman that asked for a reading can hear this and trust self. And even if it's just sounds like a really tiny, weak little voice, like even a child's voice, like your little child, often our little child knows the truth. I'm going to pick one more card for her and for us, because this is for all of us. Okay. I got to find one. Here we go. Okay. Oh. So I think this, okay, so this deck is kind of like life purpose deck. I want to acknowledge Doreen Virtue. A lot of these cards are her cards. and she's kind of gone through a spiritual awakening and left her cards behind and is into Christ right now. And I just want to honor her for trusting her own path and fulfilling that Christ light that she is called to. It may not be your path, but I really want to honor her following her truth. And a lot of people have been mad at her about it. Earlier, I was talking about the Leo King and people getting mad at him. You know, when you start doing your own thing that you're really called to, you're going to upset some people and lose some friends. But then your new tribe will start to show up. And you'll be really happy with yourself. Okay, so this next card, study, reading, research, education, help you gain confidence and clarity about your career. Now, I think at the beginning of this reading with this woman, there's another owl, okay, wisdom, that some of the things that I came up with was like, you know, if she's like guided to study certain things or go to school or even teach, okay, because a teacher's always a student. It's a good use of your time, okay? So if that speaks to anybody else, so mote it be. Okay. So there may be other people who are like asking for my attention, but maybe not. I do want to learn how to do this live stream stuff. I need technical help. Badly. I'm in dire straits for technical help. Oh, and if I can ask you, I'm going to post the start of my YouTube channel. It'll say like Wild Mother Magical Mystery School or something. And if I can just get likes, once I have 100 likes, then I can do the live chat through there. And people can write in like their questions and stuff. And we can do all kinds of stuff together. Have a mystery school. A YouTube mystery school. Okay? Who'da thunk? Okay? Who'da thunk? Back in the days of the Library of Alexandria, like, who'da thunk? Oh, we can do this on YouTube. Okay? Okay, I want to thank a couple other people. I thanked the Leo King. I thanked Rosalind Barrier. I have like so many people to thank. But currently I've been watching The Peace Dealer. He's an astrologer. He's a young buck. Okay, a young guy. Okay. And he kind of gets out there, but like I have Aquarius rising, so I get it. And because Aquarius rising just gets things that nobody else can like get. Okay. But and he's like really improv, but he's like really wise. And you know, if he draws a card for me, he has like a live chat, okay, and does astrology and cards and channels. And he does a lot of content. He's a Gemini, so you can't get him to stop talking. Okay. But he's like really helped me a lot. And, you know, if he like draws a card for me and it says like go for it, like I do it. Okay. I really do it. So he may be out there for some people, but I totally get it and appreciate it. And the other person I'd really like to honor and who's been helping me a lot and a lot of people is Christopher Witecki. And he has an app like every day. Like you get his app and he puts in your birth chart time and you get notices like based on your actual chart, like throughout the day, and little pep talks and things like pieces of wisdom. And he's been marching us through 40 days of the eclipse season, which is almost up. I mean, we started long before the eclipse. So the 40 days is almost up. I think today's 36th day, which is a magical, mystical number. And it's probably good that I'm doing this rather than sitting by myself eating ice cream. Okay. And then he's going to do, when the 40 days are up, he's going to do, and it's all about following your heart. Okay. He has a Leo moon and he's a Taurus. So that's ruled by Venus. Like I'm an Aries, so I can be really kind of rowdy and obnoxious at times. But, I actually call him it's like he's so soothing to me. Like he's like my Mr. Rogers. Okay. That's how I respond. Like when my kids were little, like they liked She-Ra. Okay. And they wouldn't watch Mr. Rogers. But when I had twins, so I was always tired. And I would sit down and watch Mr. Rogers because he would just like relax me, you know, just the sound of his voice. And Christopher's like that, you know, he's just got this lovely, calm energy. And all three of these, Christopher Witecki, the Leo King, and the Peace Stealer, they're all very different in a sense, but they're all very, very honest and open about their process and very gifted. So anyway, I would like to thank them for helping me through some hard moments. And so in that, I want to pick a card for hard moments for everybody. So we have, I don't know which deck this is, but it's Power Animal. Your animal spirit guide is a guardian to you and is helping you in this situation. Okay. That's actually something I do a lot in my healing work and my personal readings is like I work a lot with that power animals come up for me a lot. I have a lot of background in the shamanic traditions. Okay. So let me just tune in and get like a power animal for this season. This season meaning like the next until October 21st. Okay. This season is a transitional season from summer arching over into the fall. So let me get an animal. I have one, but it's kind of silly. Okay, immediately an ostrich came to me. Okay, like you can look up on the web, like, what's an ostrich totem? Okay, I'm just gonna like kind of wing it. Okay. But I'm kind of getting the ostrich. You know, there's this saying about the ostrich, like, don't put your head in the sand, you know. Now, it's kind of a two-way medicine in that right now. I don't know what the web is going to say about ostrich medicine or the books, but this is what I'm getting, is that there are some things that you want to ignore, okay? Like, you know, like a lot of the politics, the opinions, your own brain that is arguing, a lot of mental stuff. Like I said, this Saturn in Sagittarius, which will be ending, I don't know when it ends. It just went direct. Oh, Saturn will go into Capricorn in December. Okay? So it'll be in its native sign, and a lot of things will go from the fire signs and air signs, into water and earth signs. And things will get more deeper and serious in a way. But we'll come to that juncture. Okay. So the ostrich, it's like, I keep hearing like, don't pay attention to that. Don't pay attention to that. Don't pay attention to that. And that's where your like discrimination and your owl wisdom comes into play. Let me see if I still have that card out. Yeah. Your owl wisdom comes into play. Like, you know, an owl's going to look and see the next rat that's going to be its dinner. Okay. Be the hunter, not the hunted. Okay. And act accordingly. You know, it's going to not like pay attention to a swarm of gnats. Okay. And that's a lot of the information, like through the media and the protest speeches and arguments and all this stuff, you know, opinions. It's kind of like the gnats, okay? And you don't want to go for the gnats, you want to go for the fat and juicy rat, okay? I guess I could figure out something tastier than a rat, but I've never eaten a rat in this lifetime, so I'm sure the owl's fine with it. More nutritious. Go for that which is more nutritious to your mind. Oh, that's interesting because we had the study card that came up. So, yeah, find out like what's nutritious for your mind. You know, like your deeper wisdom. And truth. Okay? And don't follow the crowd. Okay. And the owl sees into the night, into the dark, and sees the shadows. See, there's a lot of like shadows going on right now. Like the old belief systems, the old hatreds, the old warfare. Like all of that is like, they're like ghosts of the past. Just coming up to clear. So see through that. See through the phantoms. See through the phantoms of your mind. See through the phantoms of the messages that are bombarding you. Okay, let me just finish up here. All right. I'm going to pray for tech support. Okay. Oh, and I want to pray for 100 likes on my YouTube magical Wild Mother, Wild Mother Mystery School YouTube site, even though there's like nothing on it right now. There might be something on it. Okay? Because once I get 100 likes, then I can do the live chat. No problem. Shouldn't be any problem on the YouTube. And then they can be saved also. Okay. There's a lot of variety of topics that are going to come up for me to teach, or rituals or whatever. And it's not always going to be cards or astrology. There's a lot of different things that I have studied and versed in. Okay. So it'll just be a mystery. Okay, it'll be a mystery. But it's all about growth, and it's all about growth towards tapping into your soul and expanding your light and your energy field. You know, there's a saying that the biggest aura wins. Okay, so the more we can expand from a place of your authenticity and a place of your truth, expand your energy field, that's what's going to win. Okay? All right. So I'm just checking in here. Getting sleepy now. Maybe they're going to shut me down and put me to sleep. So I just want to share a prayer to those who are passing, that it's a gentle ride. And for those who are coming in, that it's a gentle ride. And respect each other, respect your worst enemy. Okay, that's like a key to going through the narrows that our time of history is in, is to respect and love your enemies. You don't have to go over to their house if you know they're going to shoot you or stab you in the back, okay? But you can love and respect from afar, okay? The more love we give out to our so-called enemies, the more likely they're going to come around, okay? And this disturbance that we have right now is all based on more opinion than actual truth. And it's real. There's so many opinions going around right now. It's like a tornado or a hurricane. And it's really kind of difficult for people to see beyond their opinions, and they're very attached to their opinions. Okay? But follow the gentle shepherd, and this is in no way, you can take it religiously, but just follow the gentle shepherd that is your heart. Follow the gentle shepherd in your soul. And stand at the shore of the ocean and watch what treasures come in for you, what opportunities come for you. And you'll know. Like when the right one comes for you, you'll know that one's for me. That school's for me, that man's for me, that food's for me, that decision is mine. I am my own sovereign being. And again, clearing Notice the yellow topaz clearing the mind of all these opinions. Okay, thank you so much. Bye. Okay.